Hello, children of God. I hope you've had a great week. Look, I want to show you my favorite pair of shoes to wear during the summer. I guess you would call them sandals, or some people may say they're first cousin to a flip-flop. But you can see that they really feel good because after a long winter of wearing boots and lace-up shoes and socks, doesn't it feel good to put on? Maybe you have a pair of flip-flops or a pair of sandals very similar to this. It feels good to put these shoes on and let your toes wiggle out in the warm sunshine and just have a great day with your feet hanging out and enjoying the sand and the sun. It's great. But there's one problem that I have when I wear these shoes or a shoe similar to it is in the evening, my feet are pretty dirty. Ugh. And sometimes stinky too, because this type of shoe is fun to wear, but it doesn't protect you from the elements. You know, your feet get dirty and sometimes stinky too. I'm reminded also that when Jesus was walking the earth, the people did not have socks and they didn't have closed-in shoes. All they wore were shoes that were either considered sandals or very open shoes, the way we wear in the summertime. So you can imagine that when they went to visit someone, they pretty much had dirty feet, stinky feet, because they've been working out in the field, they've been going around all day. Remember, the roads were not paved a lot of times. You know, that's just not the way they lived. So they had a real problem keeping their feet clean. You will see that a custom that they had during this time because of this problem is when they went to visit someone, the servant would usually actually wash the feet of the person who was visiting. And it was considered to be the job of the servant because it was menial. By that I mean low-class work, something that the people who were in upper class didn't consider that to be the kind of work for them. So the lowest servant that they had to wash the feet of the person that was coming to visit so that their feet would be nice and clean. Now, that's especially important when we look at, I'm looking today at John verse 13, and if we look at chapter 13, we see that Jesus actually washed the feet of his disciples. And they were pretty surprised at that because Jesus was their master. They knew that Jesus was the Son of God. And for Jesus to turn around and actually wash the feet of the disciples, they thought that that was beneath Jesus to do something like that. So boys and girls, why did Jesus do it? If we look again at chapter 13, I'm looking at verse 14, and it reads, "And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth, slaves are not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them." So what is Jesus saying? Jesus is saying that we are not too good to serve others. In other words, if the Son of God can come to earth and humble himself to wash the feet of his disciples, then we must serve others. We are not above others. We are not beneath others. We are servants of God. We serve humanity. And that's the example that Jesus is showing. Therefore, boys and girls, always remember that to serve and do good in this world is to be Christ-like. And that is what we want to always remember that Christ served others and he never saw himself to be above. He saw himself as a servant of God. Thank you, boys and girls, and let's have a great day. Bye-bye.